Visit ZABALGamez.com. That's ZABAL Games.com and sign up.
Decentralized energy, let's talk about Web3.
What's up, everybody? We're back for another ZABAL Gamez workshop, and I'm here with Chris Dolinsky. How we doing today, Chris?
Dude, great to put a face to the name. Happy to be here. I loved your intro. I was I'm getting more hyped up as I listen to it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's really cool because the space is wonderful. Someone made that for me without any prompting or anything. So that's kind of why I love this ecosystem. It's cool. Some of the surprises you get.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, the music, the soundtrack, everything, imagery was great.
Thank you. No, it's awesome to have all these awesome artists in our wheelhouse, getting them onboarded into on-chain development in some way, shape, or form. And this is a perfect reason to have you on today, because Vini App is a phenomenal opportunity for non-technical individuals to build some of this tooling that other people are doing. So I love it if you could just give an intro, a little bit about yourself and Vini App.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, my name is Chris. I go by Dolinsky on almost every platform. And I've been developing software for 15 years. I created 2 VC-backed companies, sold one of them. And after I was kind of looking for my next kind of whatever I want to work on next, it was just this wave of kind of COVID, which was like this whole kind of like video teleconferencing era, which eventually I kind of parlayed into kind of the AI space. And the AI space really got me into kind of what we're working on with Vini. So Vini is a natural language or kind of plain language platform where you just write in a prompt and 10 minutes later, out comes a fully working application. And if you kind of pull back the onion a little bit in terms of like what that includes, it's a lot, right? It includes the wallet, it includes the domain name and the hosting, it includes the brand kit, the token, and it kind of keeps going on and on. But what we really want to do is for the 99.5% of people that have never written a line of code before in their lives, we want to make it accessible to you. And because of AI, we now have that ability to, which even kind of 6 months ago, we just couldn't do it. So now's the time for anyone that if you wanted to kind of create that app, or if you had that kind of creative itch, is just to kind of give it a shot. You can kind of write out a prompt, we'll help you make an app. And it's really all about a land and expand strategy. So basically, don't worry about kind of pulling the future forward and kind of carrying all the weight on your shoulder, being like, I got to think of this and this and this. Just get in there, make an app, and you're going to learn really quickly what works, what doesn't work. You're going to be stoked sometimes, you're going to be aggravated other times, but it all really starts with that kind of that fire from within, that kind of artist, creative nature, where you're like, you know what, I want to bring something into the universe that's never existed. I want to leave my mark, and that's really what Vini's all about.
I love it. It's that manifestation, right? And
oh, yeah.
The cool part is that for the past however many years of the internet, manifesting something through software was only being able to be done by that 0.5% of individuals. And now opening that opportunity to manifest something into reality using software from an individual who was never able to do that before can lead to some really creative things. So I'd love to know a little bit about like how that experience has been for you creating Vini App and now seeing other individuals creating some of these things that maybe they've been wanting to create for quite some time, but didn't have the resources or tooling to do that.
Yeah, totally. So what's super interesting about Vini is the AI and the builder space is super vast now. Like the internet has really blown things up where a lot of people are kind of coming at it from different directions. And so it's really kind of tricky to even kind of talk about it, because everyone you talk to has a totally different level of education of kind of understanding what tools are available, what things mean, what they do, when you use certain things, when you don't use other things. But you can think of Vini, like I guess our pass on it is that you think of Vini really stands for like vibe coding mini apps is where it started. So you kind of get Vini out of that. And then we've really extended it just to be vibe coding apps. Like if you want to build an app, come try us. It's super cheap. It's like less than the cost of a latte. Oftentimes you can kind of get free credits or comp credits too. But it's not just about building, it's about kind of having building with the best tools possible. So myself and my co-founder Nick, we've been doing this for like 40 plus years combined, like so long, right? And so we've cut our teeth on every aspect of the build, oftentimes multiple times on the same thing. So we're like, okay, like can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. But you start to really learn what really works. And so being in the Farcaster and kind of Web3 ecosystem, Nick and I were both part of Base Batches. I was part of the Base Startup track. He was part of Base Builder track. And we actually won that for the kind of global buildathon with Vini. But what's unique about Vini is that we make use of the best Web3 primitives as well. So not only are we kind of like a Bolt or Replit or a Lovable platform where you can kind of go in and talk, like type with natural language and have an application built, but the other piece is that we work in things like a wallet. So a wallet's really important because that means that you can get paid, you can pay for things, and you can monetize your application from the second you build it. It's not an afterthought. It's actually part of the main kind of foundation of your application. The other piece that's super interesting is that with things like tokens, for every Vini app that gets created, you have an option to launch a Clanker token. So that's something that kind of Proxy and Dish kind of pioneered on the base ecosystem, where when you launch a token, you can use that token in your application that is not only useful in your application, but it can also be transferred into your community externally to your application itself. So what's super nice about that is that not only does that token bring unique aspects to your build that Vini is kind of uniquely set up for, as opposed to all these other platforms, but also those tokens then kind of are tradable on a decentralized exchange. So anyone can kind of buy and sell those tokens once they're live. And the unique thing about those tokens is that when they're trading, they can generate trading fees. And so what's really cool about it is that everyone talks about AI right now. They talk about how we need more data centers, there's more energy, all these crazy things, being like, oh my God, we have the biggest build out ever. It's so expensive. What's nice is that these trading fees can supplement the development of your application sometimes. So if there's enough demand for your application and your tokens are gracefully and kind of like naturally working to your build, you can actually subsidize sometimes the building of your application. And so if you imagine like the pillars of building an application, like you got ZABAL's idea, then you got to build the application, then you got to fund the application. Most of the time, the idea is tricky enough. Then building the thing was like hire an agency, hire a development team. It cost you 50 grand. They didn't know what they were doing. They were going on breaks. Like it was just forever. And then the other piece is that they're like, I need 200 grand to build an application. So it's like all of the people that are like watching your stream are kind of like, yeah, I don't have like 3 months to spend and 200 grand to get a development team to build anything. And it's really weird. Like it's like a light switch where it's like, you just flick it on and now all of this technology is available to everyone. And so there's just like huge education process that has to happen where everyone needs to be listening to your show and be like, yo, like, wait, I have access to these tools. Like maybe I should go sit down in a coffee shop, get out a notepad and be like, I'm going to design an app for the art that I create, for the music that I'm going to create. I'm going to create an education app. I'm going to create a, whatever it is, right? It's like, it's really up to you. And the power of AI, just like all of us use ChatGPT, you can ask ChatGPT anything. And so with that, same thing here. You can ask Vini to build you anything, and it's going to guide you through kind of like what's possible, what's not possible. And you're going to start to learn the kind of like the boundaries of what's possible with web development and app development. And there's a lot that goes along with it, but the alternative is that you kind of just sit there and say, oh, I should have built that app, or I got a great idea for this app. And some people are just sitting on $1 million idea apps and they just never build it. And so we really are super encouraged by this idea that like you can get in with Vini, you can get going, and within a few moments, you're going to learn a lot in terms of what's possible. And oftentimes people are just stoked. They're like, holy smoke. They send me notes being like, I can't believe I just had this, or I've had this idea forever. And they're sending me links after being like, yo, try my app. It's pretty amazing.
I love that. I think there's so many awesome pieces to touch into there. I think you said it the best. There's, as a creator and a builder in this space, there's a distinct light bulb moment for individuals who don't have software experience creating something for the first time, seeing how quick of a iteration phase it can be and how much they can do with just their resources, and then be like, oh shoot, if that's possible, then what? Right. And that's that, like, that's the excitement for me, is always like, boom, you're like now on your own track of like thinking about these things, like come to me for help and advice and different pieces. But like, you're able to think about all these ideas on your own with all of your creative juices of like what you've done for your career or your business or whatever that is. And one of the cool things you mentioned that I think has been a challenge that I've run into as a vibe coder is running up against walls that, because I'm leveraging AI tooling, the build can be quick. However, it isn't built in a scalable way for the future. It works right now, but it might not be coming. As soon as you add another layer on top, it all breaks, right? And I think one of the things you guys shared, which is huge, is taking the best practices of all of these tools and only putting in the best workflow for using the technical side of the tools. Now, creatively, anyone can do anything, but for actually enacting and manifesting and creating the software, you guys are taking that input and putting it up against good context that you guys have built over 30 plus years of experience and giving it to someone, let's say like me or like a musician who has not had the time in the sun to fall through some of these, rub their head up against a wall on some of these things that you guys have had problems and challenges with along the way. So it's really cool that, we're really building in this environment, this toss the ladder down, help someone else with the problem you've had so they don't have to have that same problem. And I love that about Farcaster. I think there's so many individuals over on Farcaster who have this like natural inclination to like, I've solved this, like, let me help other people not have to go through that same issue so that when they get to my point, they can just immediately level up, right? And I'm excited. Do you want to share a little bit more about the building or like the how you guys created some of those best practices and how you implement it with AI?
Yeah. So, maybe I share my screen for a sec, just kind of give a little quick walkthrough. Is that cool? All right. So, you see my screen okay?
Boom.
Oops. Amazing. Okay, so two ways to access Vini. One is just directly on the website itself. So you can kind of go to Vini. Actually, I'll even jump into how do I do this? Incognito. So this, if you're not logged in, I was just logged into the other one. This is kind of what it looks like, where you log in. And one big thing with Farcaster is that Farcaster, everyone gets a wallet, which means your wallet is automatically connected. If you are not in Farcaster, you have two options. Basically, you can join Farcaster and you can get a wallet. It's super seamless that way. It's probably the most seamless. But if you're not, you actually have this new option of kind of sign in with email. So you just kind of come here, put in your email address. That's my email there. And it's going to send you a magic code. You log in with your magic code. And then in the back end, it's going to create a wallet for you. And so that's kind of what happened on this one here, where I've signed in with my email. And this is kind of as simple as we can truly imagine making an application. So what you can do is you come in, you say, I want to create an application. So you go like ZABAL's app, and then you say, I'm Zal. We're not gonna make this one here, but like, I want to make a matching application. And since we're in beta, we just have these kind of two buttons here, and you literally just go create app, and like within 5 or 10 is just going to build everything for you. It's going, because your prompt is so simple, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions being like, hey, do you want it light mode or dark mode? Are you looking to have it like a serious application with like serious typography? Or are you looking to have it fun and playful or bold? It's going to ask you about things like, do you want to send out notifications? Do you want analytics? Do you want to hook in a database? All of these things. But the AI is going to be your kind of like your assistant that's going to read about your kind of your application, your app name. It's going to create the imagery and the logos and everything for you. And on the other end, it's going to basically build a full application. After your application is done, what Vini is really good about is that you can see all of the different applications that people have built. So you can actually see that Vini now has made 1,189 applications over the last kind of few months. They've been opened over 240,000 times with 28,000 unique users. And we have this new kind of star thing where people can say like, oh, I want to start this app and kind of show up. With each one of these apps, as we were kind of briefly talking about earlier, they each come with a wallet. That wallet is what's drawn from for the AI credits and kind of funding of the application. But all of these applications you'll see have tokens associated with them. So you'll see that there is a brick token, a DGAR token, a DGEN Fishing tokens. And so for any of the people that are on the kind of token side of the Web3, you can actually just come to app tokens. You're going to see the token, the market cap, everything like that right here on this application. And so that's kind of the front door to Vini in terms of how you get in, how you start the application process. And it's really designed for you to kind of be either a super experienced developer, but really, as we were talking about earlier, we want to cater to those 99.5% of people that have never coded before. And then even better is if you have never coded before, it's often fun to find somebody to collaborate with and be like, hey, let's put together an application together. Let's fund this together. Let's do this together so that we can kind of co-market together and get the word out together. So I'll take a pause there, but that's really on the front door to this Vini application.
I like that a lot. The collaboration portion is I've always been a person who, if I talk out loud with another individual and they're talking out loud about their thinking process, ideas form in my head. So I always thrive when I'm ideating with another person and brainstorming with another person. And it works even better if you're non-technical and you get another non-technical individual. You guys both have different perspectives and unique thoughts about how it could be created. So there's so many places where, because you have another individual, you might catch a thing that you might not catch because you have either a pre-assumption or you don't know what you don't know. And I love the co-marketing strategy as well, because it's most individuals in the space in some capacity have wanted to create something of their own, and this can be something that aligns with that, right? It goes into their brand because maybe they've never created an app for this specific application, or maybe they've never created an app at all, like you said, and they've been wanting to do something and they've maybe asked the developer, but it took a month or this or that. And it's really cool to see what can be done from a non-technical side, from individuals that are out there with just the natural language. I think that's a portion that somehow the screen share just hid.
It's good. Maybe I'm going to pull up some more. I got a couple other examples. Maybe that's showing now.
Awesome.
Okay. So I am on my Farcaster page here. And actually just I saw this post here. So Vini, as these tokens are launched on Vini, actually 10% of every token that's launched on Vini, the trading fees go back into the main Vini kind of token. So we have an umbrella Vini token, and then you think of like the thousands of apps below it. 10% of the trading fees from those apps kind of go into this main Vini token to kind of like combine it all together to kind of keep everything linked. So far, usually there's kind of a weekly buy, so it's up to $4.8 billion or $4.8 billion in Vini token being purchased. You can kind of see all of the different purchases here. So the Vini application, it looks just like this. So you can kind of click there, or you can just type in Vini App up here, and you get this page here that says Vini App. And this is where you're kind of on the inside of what we were just showing on that kind of other screen, where you can see all of my different applications down here. Should load in a second.
Internet being the internet, eh?
I'm telling you that I've been doing this for a long time. The demo guides are incredible.
I see D posted here as well. DGEN Fishing was built with Vini App. No way. It's one of my favorite mini apps on Farcaster currently. So that's another cool thing, is like some individuals don't even know that these were created on Vini App, right? And that's like, that just goes to show you how good it's creating this these apps, right? Like that it's not so defined that it can be immediately picked out of a Vini App. So that's awesome.
Just give me 1 sec. I'm just doing some debugging.
No worries, no worries. I think this is a really cool application for all of the individuals who have never written a line of code. I think that we, Chris and I, are going to create something during the month of July to help encourage individuals who haven't had an opportunity to try this out, to build on top of the ZABAL Gamez in our hackathon here. I think it'll be a great opportunity to see what people can create, because I think there's a lot of Farcaster users that are lightly following along the journey that may not be as excited for the building portion, but are really excited for this workshop portion. And I think for some of those individuals, this would be a great place to start.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what's going on here. One sec.
No worries.
Sometimes we have deploys that kind of.
So I saw this this notification as well. We just got off with Kenny a little bit earlier for the ZABAL Gamez talking POIDH. So it's really cool to see how much of the interoperability there is in the space, especially, you know, you guys pulling in POIDH and supporting POIDH with Vini App, as well as hopefully some other applications.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a huge thing. What the? What is going on? Maybe I'll get my other account here. The thing is that with Farcaster, I always have to log in with my phone, and my phone is my camera right now.
Sometimes that would be right. I'm trying to load mine up too, and it's not loading.
Oh, really?
But that also might be my interwebs.
One second.
Well, it wouldn't be Web3 without a little bit of technical issues.
That's right. That's right.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. That's listening in.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do here together. I've been really enjoying seeing the different collaborations happening on the timeline, whether that be with just like artists that I know that tried out Vini App and really enjoyed it because they're like, look, I like made my first mini app. And I think that was for me when I created my first mini app. I had that same feeling. So I think that that's the spark that we were mentioning earlier of like, wow, like I can do this. I can do it on my own. It's the giving the confidence to an individual that this isn't just something that like the select few group of individuals can do now. The friction has gone down.
Yeah, it's totally different. I don't know if I'm going to get this to work right now. I might have to do some other debugging. But you know what we can do here is I'll show some apps that we have.
Perfect.
We can always jump on another time. So so I'm just on the Explore tab of Vini. So what I want to show here is the quality of the applications that come out using Vini. So for instance, we have this application called Farcenoid. This is an application that Nick, my co-founder, made it. Nick is super famous on Farcaster because he made a lot of the early DGEN frames. So if anyone's been on Farcaster, anytime if you're checking your allowance or kind of anything like that, Nick basically made all of those frames. And so what we made here was kind of a brick breaker from the old school BlackBerry days called Farcenoid. And so what's super unique here is just the quality of the application, where you can go start game. Right now, I don't know what's going on.
This was one of the first ones I tried. I love Brick Breaker. So
yeah, let's see if this works here. Yeah, okay. So this is an example of the game. So what's cool about the Vini app is that they work both on Farcaster as well as just the web. And so I'm just gonna hide this here. And so you'll see here that I don't know if you can hear the sound, but there's music here. You get combinations, and the application here is super smooth. And so because of the quality of this particular application, we are able to not only launch it on Farcaster, but we're super keen on making sure that applications on Vini that get built get the light of day that they kind of deserve. And so this application is actually also launched on World App. It's compatible with the World App, which has like 20 million wallets. And then there's also a platform called Celo MiniPay. And so if anyone is familiar with the Opera browser, which is kind of like when Firefox came out, Opera came out as well. So this MiniPay application is their wallet inside of the Opera browser. So if you think of kind of Farcaster having a wallet in it, you have the Opera browser that has a wallet called MiniPay inside of it. And this one has 15 million wallets associated with it. And so what's unique about that is that this wallet has mini apps in it. And one of those mini apps is actually now Farcenoid.
That's
So
cool.
what's cool about it is that not only is it kind of in this application, it's been like #1 in this wallet. So it's had tens of thousands of uses in like the
Wow.
last week. And
Completely
not only
outside
just
the
uses,
Farcaster
totally,
ecosystem.
totally. And all of these people are actually usually paying for kind of new uses of this application. So like if you die a few times, you'll see here, like just as an example, I have 2 lives, so I'm just gonna die for the 3rd time here. And you'll see here it pops up. It says, okay, you can insert a token to continue. You can pay for 1 ball or 2 balls or 3 balls to continue playing. And so a lot of people are trying to kind of climb the leaderboard here. You can see all of these people just playing today, where they're getting scores of 137,000, 118,000, 114,000. So they're actually competing globally with all of these people. And this app was totally made just with plain language using Vini App. And so I really think that that's kind of a testament to kind of like the quality of the Vini apps. And it doesn't, like, oftentimes these apps start as like a little seed. You're like, you know what, I really wish there was kind of like some sort of game or like a clicking application or some sort of like swapping application. You're like, okay, let's start that. And then as you were saying earlier, Zal, it's kind of like, okay, now you can wipe the mud off the windshield because that's all you could see for a little bit.
Yeah.
And like, okay, let's take the next step. Let's keep driving down the road with like a clear lane where it's like, okay, where do we want to take this next? And you can kind of level it up. And then once it's at a certain level, you can get into like much larger applications.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I think we definitely need a part 2. I think that's where we're at. We'll play with some more Vini apps, maybe sometime next week. We'll get to the back end of an app. I think that'd be great to share as well. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't have any words other than thank you for building this. Appreciate you, Chris. Thank you for coming on, sharing, and yeah, let's cook together.
Yeah, I'm stoked. A couple things too, Zal, is that we were talking briefly earlier. So with Kenny and the proof or Pixar didn't happen, we have this new way to integrate external services. So if there are any kind of, if you or any of the listeners have a lm.txt or an API that you would like people to use Vini to build with, we are super keen on that. That's like top of our list right now. We want to make sure that our like extension ecosystem and the integration ecosystem is growing by like 100x every week is kind of like the goal. Like we're just trying to like make sure that Vini is as extensible as possible so that if musicians want to build things, they have the data and the APIs to pull in the right music that they want. Or if a designer or developer wants to kind of have a certain coding library, let's get that added in. Or if there's some sort of kind of imagery that needs to be added in, let's get that added in. So Vini is really set up as this like beautiful foundation layer, is really ready for this kind of integration level. So June for us is all about integrations and partnerships. And so it's one of the reasons why we're stoked to be talking to you right now. I think that is just such a nice time to kind of expand the branches a little bit, expand the reach, and really kind of, as you said, drop that ladder down and start kind of pulling everyone up, being like, let's go. We can all build together. And building doesn't have to be just about getting kind of rich. It can just be about learning. Be like, we live in a technological society. If it's like, if you don't know how to code, there's no longer an excuse, right? You should know how to code, and you don't have to be Mark Zuckerberg, but you should be at least to be able to in the room and say like, hey, look, I know Zal, I know Dolinsky, and we've created some application together. I know what a database is. I know how analytics work. I know how notifications work. I know that iOS has certain benefits, Android has certain, like these basic things, because when you're in those rooms, you're now speaking the same language that everyone else is speaking. And so let's drop down those ladders to everyone. Let's get everyone building, learning. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have something to show for yourself, which is really cool. You can share with your friends and family, and you can be the one dropping the ladders, not just us.
Amazing. Thank you, Chris. Do you want to share where people can reach out to you?
Yeah, every social, I'm Dolinsky. And then we have Vini App on Farcaster and Vini App _XYZ on X. So yeah, looking forward to it. If you have any questions or if you're trying it, let me know, let Zal know, and let's get those apps out there. Oh yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. Thanks everyone for listening in. Cheers.
Take care, guys. See ya.
Keep it a Zali, from the Zal down, come proper. We eat rappers for lunch and there's some left, we eat them for supper. I keep it a Zal, homie, a Zali. Heard heard the streets calling E3. I man to assignments, now the whole word here about me.